I've been low carb since 1973. I always failed because I never cured the addiction. And as long as you have not cured that addiction, you have pre-written the story of the rest of your life. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch on this Monday morning, September the 16th. Drink it if you got it. What are you doing here today, Mitch? You may ask yourself. You said you had a dental appointment this morning. We had just gotten over the crushing disappointment that you might not be here. And here you are. And are you playing tricks on us? Is it really morning? Or did you do this the night before? Because quite honestly, Mitch, kind of dark outside. I don't blame you for thinking that, but it's not true. It is morning. I don't know if you can see my watch, but it's upside down. But it is 6:15 a.m. I was up at 4:45 this morning. Not much earlier than I usually get up, but of course, I'm gone to the dentist. I've got that on my mind. Could be something serious. Certainly, my nerves aren't at the level they were as I was waiting for my trip to the operating room to have my brain surgery 3 years ago, but who the hell likes to be in pain or have people mess with your health? That's why I do what I do, to try to stay healthy. We're going to do damage to ourselves. We're going to get old. We're all going to die. There's so many things that we think we can do. So many things we think we can do to make it more pleasant along that journey. We think that, especially when we're young, we think that the more money that you have, the better your life's going to be. And may be true for a lot of people, but for so many of us, we learn that it's not everything it's cracked up to be, as long as you got enough to meet your needs. The value that society places on extravagance, decadence, and things like that is overrated. You can be sure of that. I'm doing this morning because I don't know how long the string is going, but it seems to be that I haven't missed a day in quite a while. And we like, as human beings, for some reason, to rack up uninterrupted strings of things, especially things we might be proud of. There's a guy in his name is Ken Herron. He's one of the larger influencers in the drone community. He's a funny guy, ex-radio announcer. And he does a live stream every Tuesday night. I don't know how long his unbroken string of Tuesday nights is, but I know that it goes back years and years, and maybe 6, 7, 8 years of never missing a Tuesday night live stream. How can you do that? Once you get to a certain point in a string of anything, it challenges you not to interrupt it. Ken had a car accident. And rather than miss one of his Tuesday live streams a few years ago, he did his live stream from his cell phone in his hospital bed. And he's done live streams from some very inconvenient places to not break his string. Because when you break your string of anything, it's like workplaces with those signs that say 2 years, 5 days, 3 months with no workplace accidents. Or driver's licenses, safe driver for over 3 years. Or any accomplishment that we're proud of. We have bragging rights to it. We take pride in it. And whatever it is usually somehow beneficial for us. For addicts of any kind, it's this sobriety chip, whether you mean alcohol, drug addicts, gamblers. It's some recognition of the fact that you've accomplished something, you've worked hard. You've gone years without regressing. I think we'd feel the same way about carbohydrate addiction if they treated it and acknowledged that it is a substance addiction. I think that if we had a setup like Alcoholics Anonymous, first of all, there's not enough rooms that would be required to host all the meetings, number one. So why am I doing this morning when I'm supposed to go to the dentist today? Well, I got up so early, I don't have to leave for the dentist till about 9:30 this morning. That's a good 3 hours from now, so I'll have a chance to film this and edit it and upload it and actually get it out and visit with you. And later today, I'll let you know how it went. It's no big deal compared to what I've been through in the past and what most of you go through. I'm not looking for sympathy. Just keeping you informed. And seeing as it's Monday morning, seeing as it is Monday, it wouldn't be Monday unless I fired up a cigar and ranted and bitched just a little bit. So I think I'll do that for those of you who enjoy it. Nothing really too much to bitch about today. So excuse me while I light my cigar. Thank you. Perfect.
2 hours later.
Surprise! It's 7:35. The sun has come out. And I'm here again. I'm here again because as I was furiously editing this morning's video so that I could get it out to you before I had to leave to drive to Orlando, an hour drive to my dentist, the phone rings. Guess who? Mitch, we're going to have to reschedule your appointment. She's just called in sick and she's not going to be here today. I went, oh my God. Anyway, I have a great relationship with those people. After all of this talking about it, after all of this preparing not only myself, but my friends, all of you, for whatever inconveniences or changes may happen, Never mind. Remember Gilda Radner on Saturday Night Live who playing Rosanna Dana? Remember her? Never mind. Well, never mind. Next Monday, we'll go through this whole drill again. And then next Tuesday in Tampa, we're having our meetup. So, God, I hope this won't affect that. I'm probably, if we have to do anything other than getting my teeth cleaned, I'll probably have to schedule it for sometime after the meetups that we're planning. I really do want to get this taken care of, but as usual, and fitting in with the theme of today's talk, which I'm going to continue now, about stringing together a series of beneficial things and victories, always interrupted by life, other people's problems, getting in the way, obstacles thrown at you. It just makes it difficult. One of the most difficult things for us, trying to be a carnivore, trying to cure these addictions, finally waking up and realizing that, like other addictions, we can not cheat ever, or we sabotage our efforts. Failing, most of us, even those of us who've been doing this for a long time, even like I've been low carb since 1973, I always failed because I never cured the addiction. And as long as you have not cured that addiction, you have pre-written the story of the rest of your life. On and off, on and off. Your weight goes up and down. Your health gets worse and better until it's over. My hope for many of you is that it doesn't take you until you're 75 years old to finally learn this lesson that took me so long to learn, and that very, very, very few of even the people in our community have really grasped. It's scary how few people have grasped this. Certainly, any of the carb-addicted keto people, keto influencers, people on the keto diet, people who cling to those last precious few grams of carbs and use them to make those imitation versions of the foods they're addicted to, who can't live without bread of some kind, without pizza crust of some kind, without cheesecake of some kind. Those people haven't got the message, will never get the message if they are flaming carb addicts. If they're not carb addicts, fine. Got a comment from a viewer just yesterday. Well, Ken Berry and Nisha Berry have a cheat day when they're on vacation. What the hell was that supposed to mean? You know what that meant to me? Well, my subconscious have given me a reason to justify that it's okay to cheat because Ken Berry and Nisha do it. Well, cheat if you want. I don't care. But grasp the reality of the fact that that'll keep you having to cheat for the rest of your life, and you will never cease to come up with one lame excuse after another to justify it to yourself. That is the real pattern that's happening to everybody who drastically wants to get rid of their carb addiction, but constantly succumbs to the lame excuses fed to them by a subconscious mind still convinced still convinced it will be dead tomorrow unless it gets sugar in today. You have to allow yourself to go for a certain period of time without the sugar to prove to your brain that not only will you live, but you'll live better and you'll be more healthy without it. You don't need it. The only time you need any sugar is when you're starving to death from the lack of protein and fat, something that is just not happening to us today. We don't really know that. We're still living with 50,000-year-old genetics. Our conscious minds know it, but our real brain hasn't learned it yet. We have to teach it. And the only way we can teach our 50,000-year-old reptile or animal brain that we don't need the survival food is to actually survive a reasonable length of time without it. We talk about 30 days. For most of us, that's not long enough. 60 days, 90 days. The reality of this is you must not cheat until the cravings go away. And the only way that I've ever found effective to not cheat is, and I keep saying this and I'll keep saying it, and as often as I see you confessing to having cheated, I know I haven't said it often enough. The only way that I have found for me as a severe carb addict after a lifetime of failure to cure that addiction, the only thing that worked for me was to not allow myself to get hungry, eat as much as it took to quash those cravings the instant they hit, to forget about even how much I weighed, throw the scale away, concentrate on getting through the initial period. It might take 3 months. Who cares? I don't care what you say. You won't be able to eat enough meat to gain any weight. Stop worrying about it. And if you're in such a hurry to lose weight, you will sabotage yourself. You will never sustain any weight loss for your life. You'll end up in the Ozempic line. You'll end up killing yourself, suffering, dying a horrible death. Or tough it out and stop worrying about the friggin' weight loss for a month or 2 or 3. That's all it takes. Stop worrying about losing weight and how you look. Trade that couple months of not worrying about how you look, and you'll solve this problem like I did. And you'll be able to string those days together like I have. And you'll be up to over 700-800 days now without carbs, without cravings, healthy, benefiting from this in every way. This is tough love, folks. This is not telling you what you want to hear. This costs me to do this. It costs me money. It costs me growth on YouTube. It costs me in ways you can't imagine to have to come on here and yell at you like a scolding parent, slap you in the face and say, snap out of it. You're fooling yourself. Recognize it. Until you recognize it, admit it, understand it, grasp the concept of the fact that it's not you and your arrogance who are controlling things. If you were in control, think about this. If you were indeed in control, you wouldn't cheat. Why would you cheat? Why would you go through all the trouble to learn about this? Equip yourself. Shop for the meat. Why would you do all that only to cheat. That is proof that you're not in control. I'm trying to tell you how I regained control. That's all. I could repeat this message every day. I would never run out of things to talk about on YouTube if I just repeated this message every day. And every day, maybe one or two more of you would say, have that epiphany and maybe say, wow, maybe he's got something there, and start thinking about this entirely different and stop watching those frigging videos about how to make 37 different kinds of bread. That's what your subconscious wants to hear, as long as you keep doing that. Now, the people that make all those videos, the people in the keto community, do great. They have millions of subscribers. They make one video after another telling you how to make the ultimate keto cheesecake. They don't even know the harm that they're doing to severe carb addicts. They have no idea. They're not watching me. They're making a lot of money, getting hundreds of thousands of views on those videos. Take a look at the view counts from these people telling you that you can make the ultimate zero carb carnivore bread. It's still bread. It's still going to sabotage you if you're a severe carb addict. They don't know. They don't know. In some respects, they're as bad as those people trying to sell you the drugs that make you think you're doing something for yourself. The Medi weight loss centers that I saw advertised this morning, talking about all the different injections that they have so you can lose 20 pounds and look pretty in 30 days or less. All of this shit is killing you, and you want to buy it. You want to believe it. You want that answer. You have not yet grasped the reality of what is really happening to you, as I never grasped it for 75 years. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Never mind. There comes a time in life when we prove things to ourselves, where we learn what's really going on. And if you've made it this far to carnivore, you recognize the fraud, you recognize the corruption, you recognize the agendas, you recognize the phony studies. You've seen the damage done by sugar and seed oils. You've had it done to yourself. You're starting to find the way back to health, only to be stopped in your tracks by the need to have a cheat day or a cheat meal or a cheat bite of something once in a while, because you haven't grasped what's really happening and what's really driving you. I don't know how to put this any better. Consider this a daily pep talk, a reality check. This has saved my life and changed me in so many ways. I want that for you, my friends. I'll keep desperately trying to make you understand what's really happening. That's the best I can do. If you're tired of hearing this message, I'll tell you where you can go to learn how to make the ultimate keto bread, and tell you to have a nice life. Anyway, here I am filming the second half of this video after yet again having to change everything and change my plans for today and the next week, basically. So I will definitely see you on my live stream, because I will not have had a dental adventure. After we're done, I will relight my cigar, probably make myself another cup of coffee, and continue editing this video to get it out by what I think is the best time for me in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock, between 10 and 11. So with that, my friends, glad you joined me this morning. Hope you're not mad at me for scolding you. And if you have stuck to it and you are like me and you are piling on those days, weeks, months, and even years since you've last eaten a single carb or had any kind of a cheat day, you know I'm right. You know that until you were able to conquer and convince your brain that you really didn't need that stuff, you never would have succeeded. So welcome to the club, my friends. We ought to start having chits. We ought to start having 1 year club, 2 year club, 3 year club to see just exactly how many people really finally got it. Not very many, I'm afraid. Certainly not any keto people. Sorry, keto people. Some of you can live beautiful lives on keto because you're not. Your carb addiction isn't that severe. Just like many people can drink a drink or two a day and live great lives. But not everybody. My message is not for you if you're not a flaming carb addict. But I'm finding out that most of us probably really are. So we envy those that aren't. But don't envy them too much. They might not be a flaming carb addict, but they might be an alcoholic. I'm a flaming carb addict and I hate alcohol. Every one of us has got some kind of demon we're trying to overcome. You all take the rest of the day off and eat meat.